the YouTube. So, is everybody ready? Ready for another episode of Dispatch? We're live? We're live now. Nice. Alright. Hi there. My name is Simon Banks, and this is Dispatch. Dispatch guy. It's performed before a live studio audience. Hello everybody. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm taking calls. John Towers is in the house. We will be talking about pretty much anything anyone wants to talk about. We'll be receiving phone calls. No text messages. I do not have a phone. But we do have the interweb. James G. Scott is in the house. VU and John. All friends of the program. What shall we talk about today? What is important? Or what is not? Willing to talk about anything as long as it continues the dialogue in a forward motion. We'll be here with you for at least an hour. I dressed up today. I wore my best clothes. This is my favorite white t-shirt. I feel pretty good. I brushed my teeth today and had a shower. What shall we talk about? It's lovely. It is Monday, February 17th, 2020. Coming to you live from the Beaumont Motel in Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. Nestled between two beautiful lakes, Skaha and Lake Okanagan, where the rich come to die. Welcome to my home, Penticton, where the rent is extraordinarily high and most locals have a hard time making ends meet. And that was Coffee Time Jazz, easy listening jazz, cafe music to relax to. And who's going to be our first caller today? I wonder. Until then, boys, girls in the band, do you have another song that you would like to play? Wonderful. Thank you for coming out today. have a few special guests who will be making their way in shortly. Maybe. But for now, we're left with this. Hey there. My name's Tom, and this is my, I don't know, this is my, 50th appearance on Dispatch Guy? It would seem that way. It would seem that no one wants to come on your show. My show. What's this all about, man? Like, what do you do? Is this supposed to be comedy? 'Cause, like, you're sucking right now. That's a little harsh, don't you think? The music's amazing. We have Ding Alloy and Liu playing a little jazz for us today. Ding is on piano and Liu is on the other piano. Liu is on the bass, upright bass, beautiful. Both accomplished musicians. We're already at 92 event logs. That's amazing. We have Instagram in the house, Facebook, YouTube. It's incredible what we are able to do. I hear crickets, dude. Where is everybody? Well, James is here, Liu's here, John Towers is here. What more do you want? The weather in Penticton is slightly cloudy, with a chance of rain. Hey. How's it going? Melanie is in the house. Welcome to Dispatch Guy. And that was some coffee time jazz, easy listening jazz cafe music to relax to. 379 views so far on February 17th, 2020. What we'll do here is like it, and then we're going to share it, because that's what we do when we like something on Facebook or YouTube, because why not? What else do we have to do today? Nothing. No thing. There we go. That's done. Let's play another one. We've got 10 hours of this. Jazz. Coffee time jazz. Easy listening music, some would say. Some would say jazz isn't music. All I know is that, most likely, this show is not going to be muted, because I don't think that there are any rights attached to this music. Can someone make me a coffee or a tea or something? No? Okay. So you're just gonna stare at me the whole time? That's your gig? Why you look so miserable over there? Hmm? Maybe you should smile every once in a while. You don't have to. Your life. You're right. What's there to smile about? Well, it's kind of cool to be on this earth, is it not? I'm bored. Why are you so bored, man? Well, I lost my job and there's no jobs in town and I don't know, any job that is in town is boring. Well, that's too bad. Sounds like you got a bad attitude, my friend. Maybe you should get a job. That's horrible advice. Everybody's working too hard. This is what I know. Nice job on the set today. I'd like to thank everybody for participating in constructing this. And the lights, never been better. And the sound, amazing. So Instagram, what's going on? You young crazy cats. Facebook, call me up. This is the time when I answer calls. I'm answering your calls now. My name is, I'm sick of playing different parts. How about I just play one? Dispatch guy.
Every time I get on a bike, I feel.
Oh no! Off to listen to commercials.
A lot of people may take for granted.
Jeepers creepers.
I couldn't do that for many years.
Alright, I'm skipping it. Well, remember at one time we had 10 hours of jazz and there were no commercials, and now there are commercials. Why? Hey! James! And you know I'm a radical is also here. John Towers, Liu, James, Melanie, Beaches, and this guy, who I can't pronounce, but I'll figure out your name later. How do you pronounce that, friend? Can you phonetically write that out in English for me? 'Cause you're important too. What's important in life besides jazz? You know, I woke up this morning and I had breakfast. And then I had a nap. And now I'm here. Live, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. On a Monday. It's Monday already? I thought it was Sunday. February 17th, 2020. Can you believe it? We're already here. February 17th is upon us. What a day. This is an important day. This is the day when everything happens. Everything. I got one concurrent viewer on YouTube. I'm very popular on YouTube. Doesn't get much better than this, let me tell you. At the beginning of the program, I had 2 concurrent viewers, and now we got 1. So we're going in the right direction. Well done. And thanks to my writers for making such an exciting show. Is this comedy, buddy? Because I don't really know what this is, because last time you were ultra serious, and now I don't know what to do with you. That's fair. Was that a question or just a statement? No, that was just a statement. Fair. Thanks for the statement. Vicky Amper Nicholas is in the house. Taking calls, comments, questions, concerns. What's this? I don't want to go live again. Do I? Well, let's head to Facebook, see what's up there. Shut this down. And let's go to the private messages and see what's up. My new friend Lovala Kalina sent me a sticker. Let's see what that's about. Good morning. Good morning to you. It's nice to meet you as well, Lovala. It's a beautiful name. It's lovely. What are you about? What do you do? You like to hang out with your girlfriends. I get it. I like to hang out with my girlfriends. So what we do, yeah, when we first meet someone, we just initially love them. Because why not? And all these girls seem lovely, so we're also gonna love them. Lovala Kolina, under this picture, she says, "We are all sexy in our own little ways." Ha 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 ha. Walong. Kokatra. I get it. I get it. Charity just sent me a message. She said hi. And I'm gonna say hi back. Hi. And Lovala, you as well. Have a nice day. Life's too short not to have a nice day. I'm doing fine, Charity. I am well. Thank you. Thank you. We got Peace Abayami sent me a picture. I am sure it's not of him. However, when at first you come across someone that you first met, why not love them? Great picture, man. I love it. I missed a call. Well, let's call back. How is that possible? I missed a call. Let's see what's going on the other side of the world. Zaina can't be reached right now. That's unfortunate. I guess we don't have a show. Frick. The whole show was reliant on that phone call, that one phone call. Alright, so far this is going really well, eh? Oh man. I might pick up an Emmy for this one. Or even a Grammy. Got music happening? For sure. For sure. How about that Bernie Sanders guy? Eh? He's got some good ideas. The progressive, huh? Eh? United States of America. It's kind of a shit show over there, isn't it? Right now? Who wants to talk about that? This show can go in any number of directions. Ask me any question. Let's see how much I don't know, because the amount of information that I have no clue about is staggering. Bernie Sanders is live now. You want to go check in on him? For sure. For sure. What's going on here? It's not working. Let's go back to my main page. And let's close that down. See what's happening on YouTube. First of all, hey there, Facebook. My name is Simon Banks. This is Dispatch. It was me the whole time. It was me the whole time. Can you believe that? I know. My accent is really coming along. What kind of accent is that, bud? That's a cross between this and that. You know? It's hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I need to take my clothes off. Oh, we got quite a show for you today. Who knows who walks through that door? I get so many guests. Just coming in and out every day, all day long. It would seem that to most people that I live alone, but I'm never alone. I've got Facebook. I got that one guy on YouTube. Girl, I don't know. I got a couple friends on Instagram. At any given time, there's at least 2 people that come through those doors. Well, not literally through those doors. No one comes to visit me, usually. Except for that guy. Who are you? Vinny. I remember you. I remember you, Vinny. Right back at ya. Right back at ya. So that was Coffee Time Jazz. Just easy listening jazz. It's cafe music to relax to. Ding-a-loy on piano. And Lee Yu on upright bass. And Melanie is playing the saxophone. Jazz. Hey, do you think you can, while you're up, can you just... Are you even listening? You don't listen to me at all, do you? You making tea? Cool. Can I have one? Let's head back over to Facebook here. See what's going on. Let's go to my homepage. See what people are talking about. What the news is. You know? Because you always got to be on top of what's going on. Very important. What is important in life? Well, I think politics are really, really important. Now, you might have a right. You might be right there, bud. To some degree. But nobody wants to talk about politics, do they? Beta? Dennis? Mahali? Vicky? Guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Beaches? Melanie? James? Liu? John Towers? Ding Aloy? And 3 others. Who are they? Who are you people? Ding Aloy? First time. Let's learn a little bit about Ding Aloy. But first, let's just send out a little love. Family is love. Just love. Happy Valentine's. That's wonderful. A background picture. Oh, look at that. That cutie patooties. There you go. Oh, hi guys. Nice to meet you. Oh, you liked that one, did ya? You liked the jazz? Oh, I'll continue playing it. I got 10 hours worth of it. Bop. Let's give Vicky Amperis a call. Vicky Amper Nicholas. Let's see what's going on in that neck of the woods. I wonder if I can do that. She regularly calls me. Let's see if she's busy now. Let's catch up. How do you do it? I never call anybody. Oh no. Vicky. Amper. There she is. So we're going to try to get Vicky on the line. Eventually. That might happen. Oh, she's got a couple of profiles. I'm friends with all of them. There we go. Vicky is a housewife. I've known Vicky for about a year and a half, 2 years on Facebook. There she is. So how do I call out videos? How do I call out here? I need a tech guy. Or girl. Gal. Hey, that's me! Other man! And Vanzy's there? Look at how many people are there! Awesome! Vicky's from the Philippines? No? Isn't it? No. Gadaron Cagayan. I don't know where that is. Now I'm trying to phone her up. Message? Do I message? Oh, there it is. Let's FaceTime. Let's do a little FaceTiming. Hey, Robbie. Just doing a little FaceTime with Vicky Amper Nicholas. Trying to get her on the line. Contacting. Anticipating. It doesn't look like she's in. And that's okay. I tried twice. Unreachable. That's fair, she's busy. She's busy. No worries. What were we talking about? What's important? What is important? Oh, man. All my friends in town work way too freaking hard. Oh, you got friends, do ya? Yeah, I got friends. Guy. I got friends. I don't see them or talk to them regularly. Because they're all working. I don't work. What are you, lazy? Are you a lazy bastard? No, I'm not. I'm actually not very, I'm not lazy at all. If I enjoy what I'm doing. Meaningful work. That's what I'm, looking for. Something that means something. Just don't want to sell my time. That doesn't make any sense. Selling my time for money? What am I? Hey! Then we got Mark, Robbie, James, and you know I'm a radical guy on Instagram. Got everybody here today, really. What happened? Oh, no! Did I lose? Did I lose connection with my friends at Facebook? Is that a possibility? Oh, golly. Did I push the wrong button again? Gosh golly gee beeve. When are you going to learn how to do this? Well, I'm juggling a lot of balls here. Alright? Not really sure how to get back. Oh, dear. Dear God. Please help me right now. This is embarrassing. Highly embarrassing right now. It says that I got a live connection. I'm pretty sure I don't. So what I'm gonna do now is what? What? What do I do? Oh boy. Start over again. That's all you can do. That's all you can do, really. You can't be too down on yourself. You're only one guy. Hi there, my name is Simon Banks, and this is Dispatch Guy. Oh yeah? Hi. How's it going, Dispatch Guy? That was awesome. Good playing. Darn it all. I lost everybody, didn't I? Alright, starting from scratch on Facebook. Sorry for the disconnection. Live on YouTube. Live on Instagram. Where are we going? Nobody knows, but should be quite a show. That's for sure. Live. Gotta share my screen on Facebook if anybody's interested. Tommy Cowles. Come on over if you'd like to get a different perspective. I'm also live on YouTube. I'm pretty much getting it from all angles here. Accessing camera. Share screen. Yes. Title it. Dispatch guy. Hi there. My name is Simon Banks, and this is Dispatch guy. Dispatch. Let's do it again. Going live in 3. Come on. Oh no. Not computing. Oh no. Three, 2, 1. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Hi there, my name is Simon Banks, and this is Dispatch. Yeah, maybe you just come in with that music a little sooner. So we want to tighten up the transition between the introduction of the show and the music. Cue the music a little faster next time. Thanks, guys. I appreciate everybody that is playing live. I'll try not to mess around with Facebook too much. Again. Hey, Instagram, what would you like to talk about? This is your Uncle Tom. And I'm just hanging out. Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. Ask me anything. The extent of my lack of knowledge is eternal. I have no clue. I know very little. Hey there, guys. Liu. Sorry for hanging up on you there. Got some new people in the house. Earl, Abdu. We're live on Instagram with Mark, Robbie, James, and you know I'm a radical. And that one person on YouTube. I'm pretty popular on YouTube. We've been live for 37 minutes, 34 seconds. One concurrent viewer on a YouTube. So what's the topic of conversation today? What was it? Oh yes, that's right. What's important besides jazz? Thank you for coming back. Guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Thank you. I appreciate you. And just to show you how much I do appreciate you, I'm gonna come and visit. Right now. Because we have the power. I got the power! Dispatch guy! Oh, Melanie is here. We'll turn this music down and we'll talk to Melanie for a while. Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
How's it going?
All right.
Great.
All right. I'm doing really well. Really well.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll have to adjust the volume on our things here.
Yeah, me too. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Me either. Isn't that fun?
So what? You're phoning me, but you didn't FaceTime. Why no FaceTime?
I'm just trying to figure things out. I wasn't actually sure how to do this.
Ah.
I'm pretty impressed. Look at me go.
Oh, you are amazing. So what's new in your life? Tell me what's important, please, Melanie, because I'm having a hard time figuring out really what's important.
Breathing. is pretty important.
What's that? Dream?
Breathing, just breathing.
Breathing is very important.
It's
Yeah.
pretty important. It's pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How is your ear?
Oh gosh, still plugged. You know, I went to the doctor, eh? And do you have time for this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to a doctor, and not because I wanted to, but because my friends think I'm insane. So I go to the doctor, and I'm talking to him, and really, the only thing that's wrong with me, I know, is that my ear is plugged. So he's discussing with me, how you feeling? You know, you depressed? You know, I tell him, well, I'm doing okay. You know, I'm a little sad, but, you know, he says, well, maybe you should go on Ritalin or something like that. Do you ever, you know, do you have ADHD or something like this, right?
I apologize for laughing.
No, seriously, this is what happened about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And all I'm thinking about is my ear. I'm thinking, man, I really need this ear fixed.
Was it that recent couple weeks ago?
It was a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and then I went again. It's a 2-part story. But that first time, he didn't do anything about the ear, but we discussed some things, and I wasn't signed up for any kind of medical benefit plans or anything like that. I in Canada, we have this card, and I didn't have it. I haven't had it for like a year.
I was not to change the subject, but I was just reading something about the Canadian healthcare system because I don't know much about it, but somebody was comparing it to the U.S. or wanting it to be like the U.S. System, and I was kind of looking at both sides on how things work. So anyway, I'm just learning. I don't know that much about how Canadian healthcare works if you just walk into a doctor.
Yeah, well, it's not such a bad system. People get left out in the cold. There's a lot of lineups for certain things, and if you got really serious things, I don't know. It's not the most perfect system. No system is, but anyways, it's better than most. It's better than what you got in the United States. You're from the United States, right?
Eastern Oregon Prairie Girl.
Pardon me?
Yes. Eastern Oregon.
Oh, Eastern Oregon. I love Oregon.
I think you're not too far from me. I actually thought a long time ago I would just come visit you, but it ended up being really difficult to get a passport. And then I thought, well, that's why they're building a wall. It's not to keep people out, but to keep us in.
Well, that's an interesting topic. I'd like to hear your take on this wall business. But I'm going to just finish this one story because this is very important. I didn't get my ear fixed. Twice I went to the doctor, and both times he forgot. So that's the end of my story. What do you think about this wall thing?
Well, you know, it's really shit me. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it. Some of my ancestors were like, you know, hiding in foxholes while Texas Rangers, you know, were stabbing them with bayonets. So they would go from one side to not too long ago, not knowing where to go to get. So it doesn't. I don't really understand it.
Well, I don't see how it makes any sense. I remember there was one time, just not too far back in our history, where we tore down a wall called the Berlin Wall.
Right, that's why I don't understand. Like, I thought we had passed this, but
so how do we get to this point where we're building more walls between countries? Should we not be tearing walls down?
Well, I would think so, but there's a lot of support for it. So I listen to everyone and their concerns.
Yeah.
I feel super righteous about them and protecting what's theirs, and I just don't understand the argument.
So what is the what do you think their argument is, like, in regards to what is theirs? Is it really theirs? Like, I thought this world we all just kind of came here and maybe
I'm not. I think it's really the lack of awareness of humanity itself. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but
yeah.
I just see a lot of displaced people that have lost that family or that sense of self, or whatever people want to use for words to identify themselves. But really, it's just, that structure of fans and people wanting to hold on to, grappling. They're just grappling. I think everyone is grappling with a sense of who am I and what is mine. And out of that, I'm not really sure what to do with that, but I think that's the root of it is I go and
I got a real problem with ownership of anything, especially when it comes to land rights. It doesn't make any sense in the grand scheme of things. People own land and then it's passed down through generations.
We work. So I just recently was able to own land, acquire land, and have a name on it, but it's not. It didn't. Whatever I wanted so badly to have something that was mine didn't end up fixing that hole or whatever that I thought once I had my name on something didn't mean anything. So I was fairly disappointed because now I own this and it's more responsibility.
It is, when you own something, then you got to pay taxes on it, and
right.
I don't know. It's a fallacy to own land. You don't really own it. The banks own it, right?
Really anything. At any point, things can be and personally have been taken from me. But it's tough because I don't. Our identities in who we are so much by our religions and by what we own and things like that. But I'm not sure. But I love everyone, and I very much want to understand what it is that drives us all. I do. I really do care. And yeah.
There's a level of mental illness that's going around, and I say this, I'm not joking. I am, but I do have to laugh at it because otherwise it would just thoroughly make me completely
drive you person insane,
depressed, right? But there is a level of mental illness that is going around where these rights. People need to be right all the time. That's what I feel like 80-90% of the population out there is hell-bent on being right. And then
which is why I haven't commented so much on all of the things that I've been sitting here like trying to tell you how to sell candidate, but it's not getting anywhere because you can't hear me. It doesn't make any as if you have a right, and that's a huge thing because every time I have formed an opinion, someone's being judged that opinion. If I were to make a statement, or if I even were to ask a question, it's probably latent in sarcasm, and it's just a rhetorical question. And I don't know that people are asking questions really wanting an answer. I don't know if they are. I don't know.
Most people don't want an answer. They've already formed their own conclusions, which makes it very difficult to question anything. And what we need to do, as far as I'm concerned, not that it matters what I think, but if we're not questioning each other, if we're not questioning things the way things are, then we're not moving forward in any way. It's the lack of ability to question, and people are highly offended. Everyone's highly offended with the opposite opinion or just a different opinion than theirs. It's an ugly situation we find ourselves in, and it's almost.
It's sad though because the play of game is so unlike when you play chess or to have opposing or just challenge of thinking, just to play. People have taken the play out of engaging in dialogue, and it's difficult anymore. But I do hear, and it's not something that's always been. The last few years, I've seen people, families dividing over their political parties and friending friends on Facebook just over their views, and there's so much offense taken just by having opinions.
Well, would you agree that we would be in better shape, regardless of what opinions we hold, that we just talk about it freely without being offended? Is that something that you think would work?
it would. One would think that that we can talk about it. We can talk about anything. We should be able to talk about anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think people do, and I think that's the level of suppression that humanity as a whole is feeling, to speak out or to speak up or to say anything or to say this is right or this is wrong. Then there's judgment.
Yeah.
And
now here's
unfortunately.
Yeah, go ahead.
Clearly, when somebody does need to speak up, it's not happening.
No.
I mean, it is.
Well,
happening.
it doesn't happen for all those reasons that you've already suggested. You know, people feel like they're going to be judged. They feel like they don't have enough information, so they don't feel like they're completely informed enough to form an opinion, which I think is not conducive to any kind of forward movement. But
I agree, and my apologies that it's taken me this long to figure out how to call when I have felt so deeply and strongly and have cried so many tears and have laughed so much and have enjoyed what you share so much that I haven't at this point. So I apologize.
You're the first. You're the first. No, you're not the first, but I don't get that very often. But
not the first. I think there have been some others, but I just
no. It's very hard to continue the diet.
Taken back.
Sorry, go ahead. There's a bit of a lag. Sorry. You still there?
Hang on. Give it 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Lag. Quinn Bucktooth, where are you?
Yeah, Quinn Bucktooth. Where is she? She hasn't called in yet. Eventually she will. But
has she before?
Pardon me? No, she hasn't.
I enjoy her as well.
She hasn't called in, but she always makes comments.
I enjoy her.
Keep going. I'm so sorry.
It's a little choppy.
It is choppy. See, the thing is that
That's okay. It's a little choppy.
Yeah. My apologies. If I had a sound guy, it would be a lot better. But I have no clue what I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. So, but I figured out how to get.
I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, stop it, Melanie! Stop it! My head is getting so big now.
Yeah, I know. Well, can you just give me like 1 second? Can I put you on a pedestal for 2 seconds? I think you're wonderful. You're absolutely wonderful, and I've learned so much, and I'm learning so much. And it's not just information that you're sharing, and it's not just your emotions that you're sharing. It's tech tools, things that you're doing. Like I didn't know how to even crop a picture or do. I watch you do those things, and I think the idea of being able to get that into the hands of people, even the technologies that we can use to communicate, is a beautiful thing. And I get a lot.
It's
of things from watching and listening, and I appreciate it.
Wow, thanks. Holy cow! Thank you. That's great. I hope that happens, but what I really hope is that people just go back and they think about it for themselves, because I think everybody has the answer within themselves, but we become so busy and so preoccupied with our own preconceived ideas that we don't take that time in silence.
Well, that and shame. I think shame that when we're embarrassed to admit that we don't know. We're so embarrassed to say, can you show me this, or can you tell me what you know? And that's where humility, I think, if we can get past the shame and just be humble and ask questions if we're seeking, things would move a lot smoother. And I can do that, and I am doing that, and I'm going to keep doing that. But
yeah, you got to be willing to make mistakes. Like not like is it. Be able to screw up in conversation, to be able not to have the right words to say, and to struggle through those sections where it's like, oh gosh, man, I don't even know how to continue. We have to be beyond the shame, but I think you hit the nail on the head there. Being humble about it is the and you could talk about what it means to be humble, and I don't know if we all agree on what that actually means. But in general, it's like we can't hold ourselves in such high esteem that everything has to be perfect every time, right? So like a show, like let's say, if this is a show, let's say this is a show. And there are other shows that are so concise and they're just spot on. It's like 5 minutes of dialogue, bam, 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 point, 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 done, right? But are we really learning this way? You know, this is, and what is there to learn? And should we be unlearning all the things that we think we know? We
I'm finding that's more the case.
Yeah.
Me personally, it's unlearning the things that have been taught by any traditional means, and what I'm seeking for, and what I'm realizing what I don't have, and why it is that I don't put my toes in the waters, spiritually, emotionally, whatever, is that. I'm gonna have to come back to that one.
No, that's all right. It's interesting when you say spirit.
I'm not sure. It keeps cutting in and out. It cuts in and out, and then I get bits and pieces.
Okay.
So I'm kind of trying to figure out where we're at right now.
No, don't worry.
What were we talking about?
Well, kind of what I picked up was you said something about spirituality, and I think religion is kind of at the crux of a lot of our problems, in that if you don't believe a specific, like, I don't know what you are, or what you subscribe to. At one time I studied to be a pastor at a church. I was going to an Alliance college, and I went to a university or college in Georgia for theology, and it was a Christian organization, evangelical in nature, and I soon found out that wasn't for me, just because it just really didn't make any sense in the long run. Jesus' teachings make sense, but the organization of it didn't make sense. So it didn't allow for freedom of thought. In fact, for there's so many stories, but there was a story. I wrote the best paper of my life on evolution or creation versus evolution, blah, 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 whatever. And because I wasn't subscribing to the philosophy of the particular brand of Christianity, and I was just taking it from a different point of view, I failed that paper, right? But it was one of the best papers I ever wrote, right? So that didn't make any sense to me, and that continued. And I think in the church, or in any religious institution, I'm really hard on the Christian church, but it doesn't allow for freedom of thought, and it does not allow for questioning at all. It
doesn't.
No. So it's like I was told, I was going to a Vineyard church maybe about, 15 years ago. One of the last times I went to church, and I was taking this one course that you were supposed to...
What's a Vineyard church?
Vineyard church is like a Pentecostal kind of churchy thing. Here, I'm just going to bring...
Okay.
I'm going to bring in Instagram back in. It went down on me. I'm trying to keep on top of this. I'm juggling a few balls here. But essentially, the analogy that they were using was, okay, you're on this bus, you're on our bus, and if you don't like the message while you're on this bus, just get off the bus. And I thought that's pretty short-sighted,
Yes.
So religion...
Yeah, and the bus only stops, and it stops at a certain time, and if you're not on time, and if you're not there, and that's all there is. It's so
rigid.
Time.
Yeah, rigid, right? The schedule is very rigid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off, and I'm just getting the hang of this as well. But sorry if I'm talking over you. I don't mean it.
No, that's okay. I'm super, super excited. My heart's beating, and I'm really, really happy to talk to you. So, yeah, it's all good.
Cool. No, so then what's happening in the United States is it's very telling. it's very important to keep an eye on the United States. For one, I've been here for about 48 years, 48 years. That's how long I've been alive. And throughout that time, and looking at the United States and how they view themselves, it's apparent that right from the beginning, it's just gotten worse. But pride is right at the heart of the problem, right? And not to say that in Canada we don't have the same. We have other problems, right?
Yeah, but there's so much of it in the USA. There's so much pride, and I don't even think that's the right word for what we're seeing, because it's greed. It's not pretty at all.
No, greed is the number one problem that we all share. Yeah, Canada and the United States share. And if we can nip greed in the bud, but how do you do that when all arguments are how do you put it? Are related to how well the economy's doing. Okay, so if you're going to hold the right position, well, you got to look at this ticker tape. You got to look at this, see how the Dow was up, like the stock market, and okay, well then it's right. It must be right because it's making money, right? And it's a stupid way of viewing things, It
is, and I think our pride is by how big our house is and what kind of car we drive, and that's not the kind of pride that, if there ever was a definition of pride, of what that was supposed to mean. Yeah,
it's a problem. You got people living in big houses. Okay, it doesn't matter what. I've got in the Okanagan Valley here. You got 10,000 square foot houses, and then you got homeless people. So it just doesn't stand to reason that some would suffer, and then others would have so much, right? But it's based on this, and we bought into it. All of us have bought into it at some point in our lives, That's why
I believe that depression is a horror, because we buy into it. We buy into the depression. We let them tell us that what we're thinking is crazy. They walk over us being those that are less than, as if we're not people,
or don't have an opinion.
They label us with depression, or whatever, because it makes no logical sense. None.
Well, here's a fact though. Like, even if you're rich, okay, you and I live in two of the richest countries in the world, right? Apparently. So even though if we're on the poor side, we're still rich compared to most, right? Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree with that.
All right, and then take a look at the statistics of what the suicide rates are in first world countries like ours. They're through the roof, right? And this spans the divide, right? You can be poor and be greedy, and you could be rich and be greedy. The mentality's still there. So, and that all lives in the mind. So the mind is always continually thinking or worried. So worry is at the root of it too. Fear is the biggest problem. And you can take it down from fear, greed, pride. But we bought into this. We're always on the. I hope I can afford to pay rent. I hope I have enough to eat. Or the flip side is, I hope someone doesn't take all my shit. I've got to protect my shit. So there's all that stress that's involved with that. So you got stress on both sides. So and then that's where you get, these boxes where people put you in depression. And there's a reason. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty situation to be in straight across the board. But we're throwing chemicals at it. But it's all about greed. Pharmaceutical companies are making money off of these things, and they don't want us to get healthy, right? And there's only a few people at the top. There's only a few people at the top that are controlling the situation and manipulating it. But until everybody, the majority of people, shake our heads and stop that madness, that wrong thinking, we're going to continue doing it. Like, and we won't have a civilization in the end. It's true. It's happened in the past.
What I've been preparing myself for is like Armageddon, like just in case. You know, this really isn't as good as it's looking. I'm trying to be able to grow my own food, or at least, which ended up being a lot harder than I realized it was going to fucking be. It was way harder than I thought it was, and kudos to all those that can actually farm, because there's quite a science.
Oh yeah,
quite a science to it. After.
There's a lot to learn.
Oh, so much, so much. And what I thought that I was so talented at, suddenly I couldn't even realize. I realized I couldn't even grow my food. I mean, one would think that would be a simple task, but it takes a long time to learn certain skills. And my respect, definitely increased with mankind and how they've tried to do it. We're still not doing it.
No.
The most optimal way, but yeah, in trying to just figure out what to do, I thought, well, gosh, I'll just try to at least take care of myself. If I can't, if all else fails, I'll be able to grow some food and survive. And in that, in walking away from jobs and lining other people's pockets and trying to raise the kids and focus on family. I got a lot out of it, and just realizing how difficult it is just to be. And there's a lot of things that are working against us being just to live.
Yeah, because we've overcomplicated
it's
it.
Impossible.
Yeah.
So much. And how we actually don't value time anymore. It's a good thing. There's good in everything, but we've sort of become things that are almost sacred to a level that's sick. It's really sick, and it's making us sick as people.
Well,
we can't handle the stresses of the hours needed to work to make ends meet. Two parent households having to work 2 jobs for so many years until it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah. So my example, much like yours, most likely, probably just slightly different. But I was a stay-at-home dad for a long time. Then I got divorced, and now we got now. But when we were together, I was working at night and she was working at the day, so we never saw each other. So that wasn't good. And then we started having kids. And everybody suffers because there's no time anymore. So we're expected to perform on this insane level. But we have no time, let alone having the time for yourself to be silent, just to be, right? You don't have time for your kids. You don't have time for anything that's really important, family, friends, anything. So then you lose connection with people, and then now you feel alone, right?
So even when you take a step back, everyone's still stuck in the way that they live, and when you've once freed yourself up from that, you've like kind of forgotten how to connect again, and
you've forgotten how to what? Sorry.
To connect. Like when I go to the store now, it's quite the adventure to go to town. And it's when I go even through the grocery store, the checkout market, like I'm very strange to people. I'm looking at them and I'm listening to them and I'm talking to them, and people are taken back by actually engaging in conversation about how they're doing. Simple conversation.
Yeah.
Just there's a disconnect. And even though I have the desire without realizing that what was happening every time I engage with other people, I'm finding more and more how depressed everyone is. Not just me. Everyone having a hard time holding their head up just to engage in something as simple as a conversation.
Yep. Yeah, I find the same thing. So it's definitely a problem. Now, what do we do? I think being on the internet is as many people that can do this just to have a conversation about it. It doesn't matter if you have the answers or not. As long as we have the conversation, maybe we can get to a point where at least we're listening. Just listening. All right?
Yeah, but for a long time, that's all I could do. There was a couple, I would say 2, maybe even 3 years where all I could do was watch. All I could do was listen. Emotionally, that was all I could do. There was see so much on, and I thought I couldn't tell if it was a good thing. I couldn't tell if it was sucking people's time and brains. But right now, I kind of think it's awesome that we have the ability to do this. That we can, like, I'm not exactly sure how to do it just yet, but.
Well, do we
that's what's, like, if we could make a comment on Facebook where you just push the button and record your voice, then you can hear the voice and at least hear what they sound like. If you saw somebody's handwriting, one could see. You could in a way, I don't mean to say judge, but you could judge, kind of size them up or have something besides black and white typed letters.
Right.
Void of emotion, it's very difficult to, regardless of, there's something in front of you, but there is no sound. There is no, and even with what you're doing, I'm so surprised that there aren't so many more people reaching out, and you get a lot of highs and hellos.
Yeah. Which I'm not really too interested in because I want to talk about something of substance, but I understand, and it, but you can't respond to all of them, right?
No.
Otherwise,
no, but I think it's wonderful that many people are saying, "Hey, I'm here," and if all that they're doing is like, "Hey, Tommy, I'm here. I hear you. I hear you."
That
I think that's great too.
Well, that means something, I guess. In that, at least someone's listening. That you're not wasting your time. But I don't really care how many people listen. If one person is listening, like if we're listening to each other, if we're engaging in conversation, then that's good enough for me. But I don't know. So I get down on myself, right? It's hard. It's really hard for me to do this every day because I can
only imagine.
Well, to be completely honest with you, I get no support in my community at all. Like, we were talking about it before, even my close friends. I have some poker buddies that just footed the bill for me for this motel. I didn't ask for it. I was thoroughly ready just to go somewhere else, but for 2.5 months I'm here. But they came kind of with some preconditions in a way. Can you go see a doctor about? It doesn't. I understand how someone would come to the conclusion that. One is like I have family members I've been putting in so many different boxes, like bipolar disorder, ADHD. We want to put people in boxes because I think it's the safest thing for us to do. It's like if we can nail it down, if we can name it, then it's almost like we've solved it. But it's much bigger than that, right? So you see a grown man on...
It's way, way bigger than that. Way, way bigger than that. So my offspring have, quote, labels, whatever, they have autism.
Yep.
And I've been through the gamut of psychological evaluation myself. And have tried so many medications and have done more or less not forced by family, but like out of desperation, just like I'm not sure what to do. Not being able to function, totally, be it called depression, this or that or whatever, being labeled bipolar, a lot of things, and have tried many medications that were just masking what I was feeling.
Yeah. Why do you want?
It does work, and it works for a little while.
Yeah.
And the first time I tried Vyvanse, which is a little bit like Ritalin, I was like, holy fucking shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
This is what it's like for a normal person to function. Well, that was fucking cool because I could get shit done, but at the same time, I was not myself, and I did not like it. And I enjoy when the sky is really blue. The sky is really fucking blue for me. And when it's not, it's not, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But those around judgment that I get for being myself and being who I am, I don't have a problem with it. Other people do have a problem with it for some reason. And when I it's for myself, but when my kids, I'm able to see it in a very different light. And how, I mean, I'll take it all when somebody does something to your kids, like that mama bear inside me where it's like, don't judge my fucking kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the most beautiful people I've ever met, and they're not mine. I mean, they're with me, but I didn't make them. I didn't possess. It's just they just are who they are, and they're beautiful. But that with a label can be so it can be so damaging to a person.
Yep. Hey, you were talking about the medication thing and having it work, and then you're not the same person. You're not feeling, what is actually happening. It's like if you're in a house that's burning, right, and it's burning, and it's scary. Do you really want to be on a medication that keeps you on the couch? Because eventually you're not going to really...
And that's what it was for me. And personally, that's what it was for me. I never felt so depressed in my entire life than when I was on some of the medication tried. And they'd say, try this. If it doesn't work, it's just something else. Well, 15 medications later, you're on 7 of them. And you're taking more medications to sleep, to literally function, so you can do this, so you can do this, till you can do this. And I was just so suicidal from the medicines that they put me on that I was much happier just who I was than to ever feel like not being able to get out of bed. I mean, I'm choking up. I apologize. It's just not fun.
At the end of your life, now you're on 12 to 20 different medications, and one is countering the other, right? And it's staggering how many people at the end of life are on so many medications. It's a business. And the business is a shitty business. But the thing is we bought into it, and doctors have become fucking lazy. It's
really strange though, because when you walk into their offices, they seem, you wait for so long, and then they seem like they're caring, like they want you to tell them what's wrong. You tell them what's wrong and what you need, and somehow what you actually physically need gets completely walked over because you have a mental health problem.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if my hip hurts or my back hurt or sprained my ankle,
or if you need your ear flushed. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look over the obvious.
If you look different, and if you're not behaving socially or dressing socially in a way that's like them, you're questioned. You're totally questioned.
Yeah, because the label's already on you. Yeah. Sorry about that. I cut you off again.
No worries. It's kind of nice. It's really nice.
So
to talk to, engage with, and to have the back and forth, it's really nice for me.
See, when you go to the doctor, tell me if this makes sense at all. You go to the doctor and you're with them for what, 5-10 minutes, tops 10 minutes, right? Because they got to make their way through their patients. That's how they make money. But they make a diagnosis just by just talking with you for 5 minutes. Can you really think that you could diagnose them and have them on a medication? Do you think that is? Oh gosh, my words today suck. But do you think that works? Do you think that that's a real diagnosis? 5 minutes. Do you think anybody? I don't care how good you are. Without having that conversation and really knowing how complicated the mind is. The human mind is apparently the most complicated thing in the universe, right? That we know of. I'm sure that's not the case, but we think it is. and we don't know anything about it, and yet we throw chemicals at it. It doesn't make any sense to us, right?
No, no. I think that, it's tough because I know that there are some people with, we'll say as genetic factors, just like diabetes, or their, just an example. I'm pretty sure that can help too without medication, but
insulin is necessary, right? But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, just that there are some people that do need or do find medications that help them. So I don't want to just get medications for some people that, I mean, like, if somebody's in so much pain, man, give them a fucking shot, whatever it takes, like shot of whiskey, shot in their leg, like the pill, whatever. Somebody broke their leg, do something. I mean, you got to do something when you're in a trauma situation, and that's where some people are at, even with how genetically made up. There are medicines that do help, but I just don't. It's a lot of the stuff that they're shoving down our throats right now is helping. In fact, I think it's causing a lot more of the depressive symptoms that I see collectively having. I talk to people. I don't dismiss what people are saying. When somebody talks to me, they feel, I listen, and I listen hard. I listen way hard, and that's what I hear is that people are suffering, and I don't know that it's necessarily even the situations, but because of how we're dealing with it, I think maybe some of these medications are actually making a lot of us sicker.
Well, they are. You take the one medication that was prescribed to women for years, or like my whole lifetime, most likely, birth control, right? So women have been on birth control for a long time, right? It is fundamentally changed the chemistry of their brains. Like I heard a few experts lately within the last year talking about this, and that prolonged use of that. Okay, so there's that. It's a very complicated, very deep-rooted issue, right? And then you got my mom just she moved here about 4 or 5 years ago. And when she got here, she was on this she was on a few medications, but one of them was called Zopiclone, and it was to help her sleep. Now, this medication is only supposed to really be prescribed for, maybe 2-week period, like a very short period of time. And I know at least 10 people off the top of my head I can ream off right now that are on Zopiclone, and they've been on it for a lifetime. And how nasty this medication is. She got off it, but the withdrawals that she was subjected to, she was a completely different person for 2 years. For 2 years,
wow.
trying to get her off it. She's got her own story, and she doesn't remember half of it, right?
Wow.
It's bad, right? So the sleep disorders, the anxiety medication, the depression medication, all these boxes that we've put each other in and thrown all this medication at is definitely not helping. Now, having said that, where are we at? Like, God forbid someone listens to this and says, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be on medication anymore, and they go off of medication, but they didn't taper off, and now they commit suicide, right? That's a horrible situation, which it could happen, right?
And that's, we all have my personal experiences, and so that's the thing about when you talk about your mother, because I think about my mother, I've gone through and what I see people through, and they do. People don't want to be on these medications, and they feel inspired by it, and then they flush their medications, and then it really fucks them up because they went off, and so they have to go through all these detoxes, and their brain has to figure out how to wire itself again.
Yeah,
and it's horrible. It is a horrible, horrible thing when our elderly are being prescribed oxys like they're getting. I mean, just candy for a day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
OxyContin's great, eh? Because it makes you. I was on OxyContin for like a month or something like that. I didn't want to come off it. But here's an interesting little side note on OxyContin: is that the people that came up with this particular drug. I don't know what their name is, but it's a family. And after a while, people are dying. We know the whole story. Now, the same people that came up with this drug came up with a drug that can take you off of OxyContin, and so they're getting it on the back end. That's how insidious the practice is, right? It's crazy.
Well, it's the same with the coronavirus right now. I mean, our U.S. government made it. I don't understand how people don't know this.
The U.S. government made it?
Patent for the coronavirus.
Oh, really? You got
there's a paper. I mean, it's in black and white.
I didn't know that.
From 2002.
They created the coronavirus?
Right. Yes. And there's a patent. There's a U.S. patent for it in 2002.
No way.
I've seen it in black and white. Yeah, because I was curious about it. So when I get curious about something, that's just me. Like, I'll dig fucking deep. I can't sleep for 3 days. So that's that's kind of me. If there's some, but anyway, yeah, there's a U.S. patent on it. I'm not understanding why people aren't bringing this to light or it.
Well,
it doesn't. Things just don't.
Sorry.
Oh wait, it's just choppy. Just give it a second.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I'm surprised that there was a patent on a virus. Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
There's a fucking U.S. patent on this shit.
Yeah.
No, it's not, right? But like, I don't understand why I'm not seeing that through the news Facebook feeds or.
Well, you're not seeing it because
people did their research, and like you have whistleblowers, and they.
Well, people don't have time.
There's a lot of whistleblowing, but the whistleblowing are just like they've got such good content, but then they're directing it towards a.
They're directing it towards what? Sorry. You still there? Did we lose you?
No, it lost me for a second. They lost me a second. But they do fact checking. They do the fact checking and then attach it to a plea and papers rather than they're just looking at it. But Americans don't want to admit that all of the damage that we've caused in our government and what it's caused and the responsibility of it.
Yeah.
They're not willing to accept the responsibility of giving how many hundreds of thousands of people. They're not responsible for the vaccines, and nobody wants.
Oh, the sound is so bad here. Sorry, you're cutting out. Man, this is good information, though.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. This coronavirus, I've been thinking about it.
So anyway, a lot of people just to take responsibility for.
No, you're not coming in. It's all choppy. I can't hear you.
Hey.
Darn it all. Darn it all. Hey, this is how my mind works anyway, so it's always fragmentary, so I'm used to this. I don't... Hey, is there someone on...
And somewhere in the back of my mind, it seems as if because I'm talking about it, that's why we're getting cut off.
Oh, yeah. The conspiracy theory, right? Well, you know what? Facebook, I was on Facebook about 2 years ago. I've never been on Facebook before this, like periodically, but never paid attention to it really. But now I'm an expert at Facebook. I think I am anyways. However, I was working under a different name, Tom Cowles. You can actually look at it. It's Tom Cowles Facebook, but I cannot get on my own Facebook page because they blocked me out of it. And they Facebook itself, and YouTube's doing it a lot too right now, is that they're monitoring, they're blocking certain things, they're monitoring certain conversations, and so there's an agenda out there. There are people.
That was so frustrating when I was trying to listen to you. Just within the last 2 months that I became extremely engaged because I had to watch it live because I couldn't go back. If there was something that's then I'll be fucking damn. Excuse my language. I would. Oh, go figure. I can't go back and look at it because they did it. So it was important for me to catch those live. I never have like notifications on my phone and things like that. Recently, I have just so I can listen to you when it comes on at when you're on live because I'd say half of your feeds I can't pull up or there's a problem, can't or copyrighted information or this or for that. So I can't, especially through Facebook. YouTube, not a problem.
Yeah, but no one listens to me on YouTube. That's the video quality, the sound quality is always better on YouTube, but I get no traction. I can't get any traction on YouTube. I don't know how to get traction on YouTube, to be honest. I've been typing in the right words, the keywords and things like that, and thinking maybe this will work, but nothing's really worked. Nothing's caught on. And like even Facebook, you post it on Facebook, no one refers back to YouTube, or very, very few people. But that's the only place.
How are things going with Instagram?
Well, I don't know. There's nobody on right now, but before there was like 4 or 5 people. And every once in a while, I talk with a guy named Frankie. I think there's probably more opportunities on Instagram than there is on Facebook for some things, and you're reaching a totally different demographic. So basically, what I'm trying to do is, Facebook is for the older crowd like you and me. Right? And then Instagram seems like it's a younger crowd, and then YouTube, I don't know. There's a mix of people, but YouTube's a whole different ball game. It's very hard to do.
I don't think that people.
Go ahead.
I don't know that people actually understand. I mean, I guess some people are smart. We're not that smart.
No.
So I just realized maybe 3 or 4 days ago that I actually had a channel. I had no idea that what I was putting on there anyone could see. And there was a couple things, but I thought, I don't know why it's saying there's new subscriptions because I'm subscribed to 15 or 20 or something like that. I didn't realize that I had a channel. My awareness would just go on there and I looked off for stuff that I want to watch. I didn't realize that when I'm on YouTube,
right, you're
watching,
and then you're saving that stuff, right? Yeah. Do you do anything live?
I had no idea that people could see what I was saving, or probably wouldn't have.
Oh, right. Oh, I post everything. Like on YouTube, I try to save as much as possible, just because if I feel like it's of any benefit to me, it could be of benefit to somebody else. But here's what happens on YouTube, and on Facebook, which I'm really pissed off about. And I was trying to promote a cousin of mine for music, and it happens with my stuff too.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. So I would put his stuff on YouTube, and then someone would come on, they play it, right? And then right after his stuff, it wouldn't automatically go to more of his stuff. It would go to someone else's stuff, Like for me, if I post something on YouTube, what's been happening is as soon as the time is up or the thing that I was doing is over, it goes to some kind of propaganda for Trump,
I think in the title, when you put the title, you have to link it to a word that's in that title is how it will load up other things like it, or either in content or in a description of the video is how it's giving. I don't understand the algorithms necessarily.
It should do that, but it doesn't, because I've been titling my stuff, and you would think that the same title, it would go on to the next show with the same title, but it doesn't. It goes on to some other, and obviously someone's throwing money at it, and they're attaching themselves to all sorts of different things. And if you don't have the money, you're kind of out of the loop. So there's, I don't know the specifics of it, and I'm by far an expert. Like, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I know certain things, and it's not working the way it should. It should go to, the next thing that is yours, right? Should it not? Right? If it's your channel.
One would think. One would think.
Yeah.
Where it pops up like your suggestions on the right-hand side, right? And yeah, one would think. But no, I think that things are controlled very differently than the way we're told that they're controlled. It is not public. It's much monitored. Instagram, as far as what I can understand from Instagram, it's a brand off of Facebook. So I don't know if it's government surveillance in the way that they are able to better. That's the only difference I can really see between Facebook and Instagram, is that you're able to isolate groups even easier, much quicker than you would be able to on Facebook, and how you can have selective audience. You're able to control your audience a lot easier. Well, in the public, able to do that, you're able to monitor. That's the only thing I can see why there's not that much difference between Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, I don't think, has enough words. There's too many buttons that I don't know what I'm pushing that's going to do something. I have interrupted other people's lives broadcast before, not realizing that I was like trying to video in myself. I didn't mean to, but it then.
Well, we'll figure it out, huh?
Yeah, for sure. It's happening right now.
So, maybe it's not YouTube, maybe it's not Facebook or Instagram, maybe it's another platform that But the thing with Facebook is that there's like 3.5 billion people using Facebook, right? So you would think that you would the chances of if it was your mandate to reach out to as many people as possible, Facebook would be the best bet, right?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, maybe not, huh?
Here, my experience with Facebook, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna, fuck everything. I'm gonna start my own farm, and I'm gonna go organic, and I'm gonna grow food and feed my community or whatever. And so I tried putting the farm out there, and I started a channel. Before I know it, it was so out of control within the first 2 months that it was completely taken over by people from India. I didn't know, but I was definitely listening to a much bigger audience, but not locally. I wasn't I wasn't promoting my little local business. I was actually promoting it which was great, because there was people that had gotten ideas from stuff that I put there in other countries. However, it wasn't helping my economy right here, and I wasn't reaching the audience that I was wanting to reach. And in fact, I felt like people were finding me that I didn't want to find me. There was so much porn. There was so many phone calls. There was so much just from putting myself out there that I thought I wouldn't do that. And I just gave up. I just didn't go on Facebook, and I would kind of scroll, but it wasn't a platform that was going to serve me good. It is now, though. Respectively, it is, and it does. It just you have to remember, I think, who it is that you're doing, if one is doing anything at all, and if people are just being themselves, which that's fine too. That's fine too. People are beautiful, and sometimes people don't have something to say, and they just want to show pictures of their kids so that the grandparents can see them or whatever, and that's beautiful too. But for any kind of real change to happen, or to create some kind of security that a lot of people are craving, we're all looking in the wrong places in our careers, or in other sources that we can only find within ourselves, if there's even that at all.
Well, I think that's where we need to go. We gotta all just look at ourselves. Like, if we're not looking if we don't spend time figuring out who it is we are, why we're here, because we have the answers. It's inside of us, and a lot of the time you can't put words to it, because we're talking about things that don't need words, right? But until until we actually do that, we're not going to figure out the rest of it. That's the conclusion that I've been coming to lately. Is, well, you try to, you think, okay, how do you put it? I'm pretty confident that by doing this, I'm not really changing too much, and the fact that I want to change it is the fact that I believe that there needs to be change, and I feel like people should listen to me more or listen to good ideas more. They're just not going to unless they do the work themselves, right? Unless they... You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, because I absolutely couldn't call you without bringing something to the table. And even though I know that I don't have, I'm still willing for that change, and I'm still hungry. And if there's other people that are hungry and willing to listen, then speak to figure it out. I think you're right on. Fuck, Hail Mary passes are awesome, man.
What's
They're
that?
Awesome.
Pardon me?
I said Hail Mary passes are awesome. I think what you're doing is awesome. We're gonna figure this out.
All right. Well, you know what? For at least tomorrow or this day, I'm gonna continue doing it, just because you told me that.
Do it.
Oh, come on! I will. But is it working? I guess it is,
No.
because you know what?
I've
met some really interesting people, and they share some of the same concerns, right?
absolutely.
So, like,
Absolutely.
there's a good handful, maybe more than just a handful of people, and that's all it really
And
takes.
for so many different reasons, Tommy. Like there was one night that you painted, and I think you was Quentin Bucktooth's painting.
Yeah, I got it over here. I gotta send it to her.
It was really late, really, really late, and I'm like, "Shit, all right." I don't know what I've been waiting for, because I've been waiting for so long, and I'm not sure what for. But I got my fucking paints out, and I'm painting, and have been painting ever since. And
Oh, awesome!
so sometimes I think people do need to just take a step, just listen, and I know that I'm inspired by what you do, and that just you being is helping me to be, and I appreciate that so much. I thought it was really futile to express myself for probably 20 years.
Wow.
And I just quit painting, because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to put on the canvas. And I'd done so much, from theater to art to I worked in museums, I built teeth, I did dental ceramics, I did tons of jobs.
Yeah.
So many jobs where I just became so disenchanted that I didn't feel that I had a voice. And watching you, I was so inspired. Like I said, for so many things, to write, to paint, to do it. Just plant seeds again here. I still don't know what I'm doing.
But you don't have to.
If I just keep doing what I'm doing, and if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going to make a difference. I know it. And that's the change. And that's inevitable. Change is inevitable, but it's what direction. If you put some effort into it, it's going to happen.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's incredible. Is it possible to see any of your stuff? Are you gonna post it online?
I'm working on a couple of things. I have a lot of play that I had tried filling up my cups with all kinds of animals. And I started a farm, and then I decided I didn't want to eat the animals.
Yeah.
So I still have all the animals. Otherwise, I'm just going to go to the slaughterhouses, and I don't know that that's money, but it's not about money. So,
But isn't it
but yeah,
interesting? We have all these backstories, and we got a wealth of experience. Each one of us has so many things that we've done in life, right? And I don't even want to name what I've done because it's not important, but we all do. But combined, the information and the not just the information, but what all those experiences culminated up until this point and how valuable that is. But we forget it so easily. We forget that. We forget what we like to do. We forget how to enjoy life. Like, I have no words right now to really explain what I'm thinking. Although, I guess what you're saying is that the inspiration to fuck, I don't know what you're saying. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. Fuck that. Sometimes I think if there's a lull, I gotta just continue speaking, right? And that's part of my problem. But it's amazing that that you started painting because of that thing that I did a month and a half ago or whatever it was. I can see how that would work though. You're the first. You're the first. That's amazing. And then like Quinn, when she said, maybe you can paint me a picture, then that no one's asked me that except for one of my friends here in town, which I'm waiting for a picture of her dog to paint for her. But when she gave me the opportunity to do whatever I wanted to do, right, and that she'd be good with it, I guess, that gave me the freedom to think, okay, well, now I'm interested in doing it. So she inspired me to do that, which I think is pretty cool. I kind of like the colors in that one. I'm going to keep it now. I'm not going to send it to her. I'm going to keep it. No, I'm going to send it. It's going to cost me $20, but I don't have $20 yet. One day I'm going to get a big boy job. You still there? You still there? Did I talk too much? I think I did. All right. So it seems like you still there? Anybody? Melanie? Did we lose you? All right, we lost you. So let's just call it a show. That's an hour and 12 minutes in. Not that I'm keeping track of time. Coming to you live on YouTube. It's Dispatch Guy. My name is Simon Banks. This is Dispatch. And we're listening to a little jazz here. Gosh, that was a good story. Thanks, Melanie. Thanks for participating in that fragmented conversation. And I apologize if I've talked over you at any point. I'm going to do some studying on that coronavirus, where that came from. That was interesting. The U.S. has a patent on the coronavirus. Now they own all the patents. Hey, Instagram. Dispatch Guy. gonna call Melanie back just to say goodbye. If I can. My computer is running pretty slow here. I'm pretty sure I don't have the memory that's required to have 3 live broadcasts going at the same time. Or at least 2 on my computer and then 1 on my phone here, but let's see if we can get Melanie back. One last time. This is Dispatch Guy. We're listening to some Coffee Time Jazz. It's just easy listening jazz. Cafe music to relax to. It's 10 hours of it. (3:45 p.m. on Monday, February 17th, 2020. Looking forward to seeing what Melanie comes up with her painting. Oh gosh. Yeah. It's really slow. I'm not sure I can do this. It's not allowing me. My name is Sam Banks, and this is Dispatch. Trying to get hold of Melanie. Melanie. It's Melanie's last name. Melanie. Melanie Escamala. Escamala? There she is. Oh boy, this computer is slow. Oh my god, that was loud. Oh boy. Alright. That was a good try. End call. We tried. Anyways, goodbye, Melanie. Thanks for the talk. I appreciate it. I will try to... I'm not used to having conversations on the phone, especially when there's a bit of a lag. It's a bit hard to get used to, but I think we're going to be able to wrap our heads around it pretty quick. Close that down. So, this is Dispatch. Thank you to my live studio audience for participating. Vinny. Oh, brother. Where were we? How do you end a show like this? What do you do? Instagram, tell me. What do I do now? I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one last song. Just so everybody is well aware that we're coming to the conclusion of the of this episode of Dispatch Guy. It's an hour 51 minutes in. Maybe I'll make it a 2 hour thing. Well, 'cause why not? Or whenever this song ends. $1,233 event logs. 3:50 p.m. on a Monday. Everybody's working too hard, so stop doing that. Enjoy life. It's February 17th, 2020. Live from Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. You just heard Melanie Escamilla, Melanie Escamilla, I believe. She was on the line. And now we're ending another episode of Dispatch Guy. Dispatch Guy! What's important? Well, I think we can all agree that communication's pretty important. And how we communicate is also really important. I think it's time that we voice our opinions more. But even more importantly, we should be listening to each other. Maybe. And then, if you got some time, spend some time with yourself. And, trust that many of the answers that we're looking for are already encoded in our DNA. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Dispatch Guy! Dispatch Guy. You believe that? We're still live? You fucking kidding me? We're still live. One concurrent viewer on YouTube. You believe that? Where are you guys going? You heading out already, huh? Alright. Goodbye, Instagram. It's just you and me, YouTube. It's just you, me, and complete silence. dispatch car.